Recording in progress.
So realistic.
Yeah, recording in progress. So, I remember one time you told me some of these dreams you had. Like, I've had some crazy ass dreams too. Like, one of the craziest ones. Well, sorry about that. It's been a long day. But one of the dreams I've had forever is these TR3B black triangles, but I haven't had them in a while. And it was usually always the same recurring dream. Like I'd be dreaming like I was on the ground in like some city, and it's usually kind of the same landscape every time. And I believe that it's in the future. And these black triangles they're all over the sky, and the city is burning, and people are in chaos and fear. And the black triangles, if I remember correctly, they're dropping like soldiers to the ground. And then some are taking people to these UFOs.
Yeah.
And that's really all I can remember. I guess I need to do hypnotherapy to remember everything else, you know?
Did they look like humanoids?
I can't remember. I don't remember. That's why I've never been hypnotized. And I've always, since I'm into the paranormal and I believe in abductions, rather it be ET, military, or both, and these abductees they get hypnotized, hypnotherapy. Like I've always thought about doing that, maybe going through some of maybe my past dreams, and maybe I can get a better recollection, because that's all I can tell you about that dream.
And for some reason, I'm imagining them as like all dressed in black, and they've got guns and they're taking people.
I believe they were all dressed in black,
like special forces.
Then hell, they could be humanoid, or I don't know. But that one's, I would really love to remember more of that dream, because I just remember waking up every time how real it felt. It was so real. You know what I mean? Like almost like how real. Let's say like me and you are talking right now. How real this is, and I wake up like, what? I was just talking to Peter. You know what I mean? That's how real it was.
I mean, it could be happening right now as we speak in an alternative universe, and alternative views trying to find a way out.
That's some crazy shit, dude. Man, that's trippy. I've thought of that. Like that's not it's just been a while since I've kind of thought about it, And I actually interviewed somebody. Well, I've actually interviewed many people about the alternative universe, and also about man, what's his name? You might have remember watching the interview. He's a professor up north in the U.S. He's a professor, and he wrote a book about the UFOs in the future could be us. Remember that guy?
No, you've made so many videos.
Oh, dude, I know.
But it's all good content.
Man, I don't remember. I just have to go to Spotify. It doesn't even matter, but that's how my mind works, But anyways, he wrote like talking about UFOs and that how they could be us from the future, and the occupants, the grays, could be us also, because maybe the future.
I mean, if they're us from the future.
Go ahead.
If they're us from the future, I mean, technically they are from an alternative future timeline. If they came here, they would change that timeline, creating a new timeline, which means their future will not become our future.
Man. Yeah.
Which makes time travel kind of impossible.
So you're not I hate to say believe, man, because really I don't know what to believe. I'm open. I'm
There are
open.
many possibilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say believe. So you're not really open to time travel as of right now, or what?
I mean, as soon as you go into a new timeline, it's changed because an atom which wasn't there is now there, and butterfly effect.
So it's kind of like the what's it called, the grandfather paradox or something, or
Um,
like maybe you went back and you did something you weren't
yeah,
supposed to do, and then you
yeah.
weren't there in the future whenever you went back to your present time in the future. You know?
I mean, you could try and go back to your present time, but even that could have changed since. I mean, you
Yeah,
could go back in time and then go back into the wrong timeline, and then I don't know. Henry VIII isn't the king; it's someone else.
that'd be weird.
Yeah,
That'd be
the
weird, wouldn't it?
yeah. It's
Oh,
like
oh, oh, oh! Hold up. See, this is why I want you to start doing this with me because and being my co-host when I interview other researchers
mm,
also because you're making me think. All right,
yeah,
so what if it's kind of possible, right? And we switch into other alternate realities, whatever, or dimensions or universes. And you remember that dream I just said? Well, what if that is taking place, something like that on another reality, another parallel
yeah,
universe of this, and somehow like boop, like something switched, something happened to where I it's like I went back in time or went back in time to the wrong dimension and I wound up in my actual dream. But what if I actually thought it was still my dream? And but
mm,
I'm still conscious of it because I remember this, I'm dreaming. Eventually I'll wake up, right?
yeah,
So but this time I don't wake up. I'm actually in the reality of the dream from the different parallel
yeah.
dimension. How creepy is that shit, dude?
I mean, you could have died and you're having a past life experience, but from another dimension.
Yeah.
But if you're still dreaming about it, alternative, you may be trying to find a way out. Like I said,
Ooh.
it's all timey wimey, wibbly wobbly.
Uh-huh. Oh, but here it is. It's Michael P. Masters. Michael P. Masters identified flying objects, multidiscipline. Let me see. Let me click on the link. But yeah, Michael P. Masters, his book, Identified Flying Objects, a multidisciplinary scientific approach to the UFO phenomenon. But
Mm.
yeah, but here's the synopsis on the back of the book. Kind of right before we started recording, we started. Are you synopted? And nobody's going to understand what the hell we're talking about. But could UFOs? This is the synopsis anyway. That's the point.
How's
And no, I'm
your
not high.
synopsis?
I don't do drugs at all. At all. Caffeine's about it. But could UFOs and aliens simply be us, but from the future? You see, I gotta zoom in. My eyes are yet
Uh,
provocative new book. This been I don't know, several years ago though. The provocative new book cautiously examines the premise that extraterrestrials may instead be our distant human descendants using the anthropologic. Man, he's using these professor type words, man. And
Anthropology.
anthropological tool of
Oh,
time travel to visit and study us in their own.
all the big boy words.
Well, my phone's screwing up and I can't zoom in anymore.
Is it an
Anyways,
iPhone?
yes, an iPhone.
Oh, we got a posh boy here.
Uh, but a professor of biological anthropology specializing in the human evolutionary anatomy, archaeology, and biomedicine explores. Like this is really tiny. I got my glasses out. How the
Uh,
it won't let me zoom in. This is
uh,
it's weird. But anyways, um, how the persistence of the long-term biological and cultural trends in human evolution may ultimately result in us becoming the ones piloting these disc-shaped craft, which are likely the very devices that allow our future to venture backward across the landscape of time. But It's got a little bit more, but that's
Yeah.
my synopsis of it. What do you? So, but as of right now, you don't really think it's really possible, or
I
what was you
mean,
saying a while ago?
I mean, as soon as you travel back, you've just changed the timeline, and then the timeline will go into its own path.
What if that's what we're
So
always
it
doing
was,
though? We're always changing the
yeah.
timeline though.
Mm,
Like it's
so
like
yeah,
what if I would have called you this evening to do like this little podcast? You know what I mean? I just changed the timeline just like that. You know
just
what I
like
mean?
that. Yeah, I'd have probably just been on YouTube.
And you may be on YouTube right now in another reality, another dimension.
Yeah. Although in that other dimension, YouTube actually cares about people.
They'll give up beep about you right now. You know what I mean? And I don't want to get on YouTube at all. I don't. I
No,
don't. But it's crazy how they're all for the people back in the day. Oh, we love you. We love you. It's because we're not popular yet. Use us. Use us. We're all about the people until they get too
yeah.
big to fail. They're too big to fail now. Now they get to change the code, the algorithm. They're out for your
Mm,
money. They're out for your blood. You can't
yeah,
say this. You know what I mean? Now they're too big to
yeah,
fail, like everything else. But man, I don't want to get into that because
yeah.
because I might want this to be uploaded to YouTube. You know. But I guess that's how the cookie crumbles, though.
Yeah.
But with like, all right, since we're kind of on the UFO topic,
Mm,
something that I think that needs to change in ufology, the UFO community, is I think I guess I shouldn't say we because I'm not just in the UFO, like I'm all about every alternative type topic, conspiracies, paranormal, the occult, you know. But I do love
yeah.
the paranormal. That's what kind of my grandfather got me into back in the day.
Mm,
That's what got my feet wet. But man, it's been a long day. But people in the community, they become too stagnated and they think all they can do. I'm talking about a lot of these people are older people in the UFO community. They believe that if you just keep it solely attached to the UFO phenomena, abductions, flying craft in the sky, whatever it is, whatever whistleblowers, witness testimonies, that's all you have to do. I don't
mm,
think it's like that, Peter. Like, I really think the thing that's missing with the UFO community and the UFO researchers is the ability to use other means
mm,
of research. Don't just say stay secluded with the UFO phenomena. I believe everything fits like a jigsaw
yeah,
puzzle. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I believe everything connects like a dot. Nine
yeah.
11, some way down somewhere 9/11 fits because the same people that's been in the government, in the US government, after all these years, that are keeping the UFO phenomena secret, they're keeping the cover-ups going on. They are the same ones behind all these other events. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet we want disclosure. They're going to give us disclosure. No, no.
Mm,
These you
well,
have good
they,
people. You have good people in the
yeah.
government that mean well, but they're just pawns on the chessboard. They're not the
Mm,
ones behind the scenes.
I mean, the UFO community is starting to stagnate because once you've heard it, you've pretty much heard it all. But there might be little bits and nuggets which come out bit by bit, but it's nothing conclusive.
And I really think we need to get these other disciplinaries like researching into it all fits together.
Mm,
Fits into the conspiracy, other conspiracies. Like, okay, all right. The late Stanton Friedman, right? Like, imagine him, very knowledgeable on UFOs, was open minded to all these other conspiracies and how they, you know what I'm talking about? Like he researched. Okay, Jim Mars. We need more people like Jim Mars. Like he researched everything. He wrote books about everything. And he believed Jim Mars believed that it all fit together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got UFOs right here, you got 9/11 here, you got JFK here, you
Yeah.
got the Gulf of Tonkin here, you got the Lusitania here,
Yeah. It's like a
everything.
giant jigsaw.
Yes, like why just seek answers and seek the truth by just researching the UFO phenomena, ufology.
Mm,
No,
I mean,
you need to be disciplined in all the disciplines, I believe, even the occult.
if they start thinking outside their own box, they're gonna start losing money. Some of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because what if some of these researchers they wrote something in the past and now they have to
Mm,
go against what they wrote in the past
yeah.
by
They look
exploring
like
by
fools.
yeah. And that's the thing. I think there's a lot of ego. There's too much ego in the field
Yeah.
and too many people afraid to be open-minded enough to realize that it all fits
Yeah.
together. 9/11,
Yeah.
everything else, everything, not just UFOs, it all fits under the same pile of crap because
Yeah.
the same people in government are the same people that's keeping the
Yeah.
UFOs, the
It's a
truth about
tight
UFOs.
system. They've
Mm-hmm.
got a grip on it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like Eric Van Daniken's gonna go back on everything he said. Like, oh, I was only joking. Oh, let's cancel Ancient Aliens.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's a good point. Like Eric Von Doniken, like you know how amazing it would have been, and you're kind of flipping the roles here. Like having his mind and Zechariah Sitchin's mind. Now we're flipping the roles. Use those two to seek answers and write books about other conspiracies and cover-ups and wrongdoings in the world today, like the New World Order, 9/11. You know what I mean? Like imagine having brilliant minds like that research other
Mm,
stuff and have be open-minded to other possibilities other than just it's crazy
yeah.
that people can be so open-minded about a particular subject like UFOs and the paranormal, little green men or whatever, like
Mm,
this little guy right beside me. They're so
yeah.
open-minded about that, but
Thor.
they're not open-minded enough about 9/11.
Yeah. It's like they're scared to dip their toe into the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
They
And it,
don't want to look crazy in front of their friends.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like groupthink.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one, but what would you rather talk to your friends about? Like
Mm,
9/11, the NWO,
yeah.
the Bilderberg, or would you rather talk about the paranormal, UFOs, flying saucers? You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's like I believe
yeah.
in I believe that we've been visited and possibly still being visited by
Mm,
ETs and UFOs that's not from either this dimension or maybe they are here like crypto terrestrials. Like Mac
yeah.
Tony's wrote The Crypto Terrestrials, which is a very good
Yeah.
book. They could be here underneath our feet, or they could be
Yeah.
flying from thousands and millions of light years away. But the thing is, I don't think we just need to stick on that point and just stick to those guns of that type of research. We need to keep our minds open. I know I keep
Yeah.
saying it, but it's so critical. I just wish. Oh, Richard Dolan. You know Richard Dolan, right?
Yeah.
He, that guy, that guy, man, man. Like I've interviewed him before on my old show, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, Cryptic Knowledge Radio, like on blogtalkradio.com. But dude, he researches a lot. Yes, his expertise is the UFOs, the history of UFOs and the cover up, but he researches false flags and everything. He talks about everything. That
Mm.
to me, you got Jim
He's your
Mars.
main source. It could be your
Yes.
main source to go
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Like Jim Mars, I love Jim Mars research. I have many books by Jim Mars. Um, Lyndon Moulton good. Jordan Maxwell. I mean, you got so many brilliant minds out there. But if I had to pick one brilliant mind, man, I'm talking about one brilliant mind to stand in front of Congress right now, uh, be in those congressional hearings that they keep or whatever. Like, I would pick Richard freaking Dolan. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like,
he knows what he's on about.
I believe he is actually one of the smartest guys or researchers that's ever like try to help out or that has researched that everything he has. His mind,
Yeah.
I don't even think he realizes how smart he is, you know.
Mm. His brain's bigger on the inside.
hmm I don't know how big my brain is, but I'm going to tell you about false flags, UFOs, this, and show you how they're all connected. Man, but yeah, I love that guy.
Mm.
I love that guy. But where were we going a while ago? This is also a good book too. Man, I got books everywhere. Everywhere.
Bookworm.
Yeah. Bookworm. Say it like American.
Blackworm.
But yeah. Behold a pale horse.
Behold a pale horse and
That's a
get
good
some
one.
KFC.
Yep. I'm surprised. That does sound good. Some good KFC. I haven't had some fried chicken in a while. Man, it's they keep killing off the birds. That's a taboo topic though. They may kill
they
you.
must have taken Birdemic literally.
Birdemic. You said birdemic?
Yeah.
Where do you get this shit off the top of your head?
It just comes to me.
From the alternate you, huh? What if I'm not actually talking to the real you? What if you got infiltrated by your real self that was born in this reality? What if I'm actually talking to somebody else that was born in another dimension? It's just that the Peter Badwolf somehow hijacked the consciousness of the one that was actually born here. Like somehow y'all swap spaces. Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something like that.
That's very Inception.
Am I getting close? Am I getting close to the real Peter?
Find out next week.
Find out next week. Oh,
same
man.
bad place, same bad time.
Oh man, this is awesome.
I mean, these are just biological avatars anyway.
I believe that. It's just a meat suit.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, I was watching remember I told you, was it last night? Yeah, I think it was last night. Me and my wife was watching Alone. Remember that? The TV show Alone? The TV show Alone. Yeah. And then they're killing these animals. And they're they're out there in the woods, they're surviving, and they're using every part of the whatever it is, rabbit, squirrel. One killed like a buffalo, but anyways, they're tearing them apart, you know, and one of them said whenever they peeled off the hide, I think it was a rabbit or something like that, or a porcupine, but they pulled off the hide, and she said, imagine like that's what we look like underneath our skin. And it dawned on me, which I already know this, but that's all we are. Like, yeah. I mean, that's all we think we are is this skin. You know what I mean? Like, this is nothing. Yeah. What's in here, wherever it is, if it's all over in our DNA, our cellular makeup, like our consciousness, our spirit, our soul, like that's the shit, that's the juice that keeps us ticking. You know what I mean? It's like this skin, people are so they're egotized by the way they look, their appearance, the Kardashian world, you know.
It's an atmospheric spacesuit. Mm-hmm. I mean, technically we are breathing in liquid, but it's in oxygen.
Hey, honey, he said we breathing in liquid. What do you mean by that? Because what do you mean by that?
Water. Well, you got the water in the air, you got oxygen, and you can turn that water into ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although it's not suffocating us.
What if
Yeah.
go ahead.
Hmm.
I kind of like where you're kind of going with this.
Yeah. I mean, it's water, but not water. We are in like an ocean, you could say, but it's not the ocean we know.
Or what if that water is like the sac in the uterus, kind of like in the Matrix, like where they woke up in that fluid substance, like
Yeah.
like right now as we speak, like we're just avatars, and
Yeah.
we're plugged into the system, and the real us, the real us is hooked up back in the whatever they call
Mm.
that back in the Matrix. It's like the membrane, the uterus membrane, the liquid soup. We're just plugged
Yeah.
into the Matrix. Like, there's so many possibilities, man.
Mm.
But what I still kind of want to stay on the UFO topic. Um, what have you had any like weird experiences and shit like that? Like, it could
Uh,
be like either a UFO sighting, like some type of entity, which I believe is related. Like I remember you telling me something, but I forgot what it. Uh,
mm.
you told me a while back. I forgot the full story. What was that?
Mm. Let's see. Trying to remember what it was myself.
Um,
Um,
was it the one something about shadow beings, or I
um,
forgot what it was, man. That's why I should have saved it.
yeah.
But so so just give us a wild dream story, because I know you have a lot of vivid dreams.
Mm. Let's see.
Take your
Well, I dreamt.
time. You have many of them.
Yeah. Well, I dreamt of my dead dog last night. Um, yeah, I stroked her and she growled at me.
Why do you think she growled at you?
I don't know. It's just a weird dream.
No, not
And
that one. Not I'm not talking about that. Like the one where you said you went through when you were born. But I felt like you mentioned to me one time something about these entities or shadow beings or something. But anyways, what's that one where you can remember where you was when you was born, or where you was born? You could kind of
oh,
remember that?
oh yeah, I was in the void of darkness, and a voice whispered into what would be my right ear. It said, "Choose your parents," but I only had a few seconds to choose, and so I saw my parents from bird's eye view, and then I zoomed into my mum's womb, and then I don't remember anything after that.
Now, why do you think that is? Do you think that we're just in a endless like recycle of our souls, our spirits, and our consciousness, or something, or what?
The Archon life trap, probably, maybe. I mean, we don't know the truth beyond here.
That's
We're kind of trapped.
what if the moon, like many researchers like David Icke talked about the moon was placed there, many others, not just him. But what if the moon plays a purpose? It was put there physically, and it's some type of mechanism or device that keeps us in a type of spiritual consciousness gulag, to where we can
Mm,
expand our consciousness. We can't expand our we can't expand, get out of the, it's like we're in the dark ages right now. You know what I mean? It's like we can't,
yeah,
like we went to the moon over 50 years ago. We can't go back. Like we're still on fossil fuels. We're still on, like, we're still fighting over this and that. You know, like, what is it? Like,
mm,
what is it about? I feel like something's keeping a damper on us. And back in the day, we used to live hundreds of years. You know what I mean? According to some written records, we used to live hundreds of years. Like, is that because that was pre moon? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
It's like, or something, some type of schism happened back in the ancient past that put a damper on our
Yeah.
psyche all the way up to this present day. Is it fear? Is it something on a cellular level where
Could be
I
the
don't know?
pineal gland.
Yeah, like
Have you
it,
noticed the moon looks brighter these days?
I have noticed that.
Uh,
I have noticed
and the
that.
sun looks a lot whiter.
Well, some people are saying yes, yes, the sun doesn't look quite as yellow as it used to.
Mm,
I remember being, and you're 32, right?
31, nearly
31.
32.
You're, but I'm 36, and I remember when the moon used to, it was a little bit, it seemed like it was a little bit more dull, and the sun was a lot more yellow than
Yeah,
what it is now.
in the 90s. Yeah,
What if it seems that way? Um, y'all hear that? It's thundering outside. But what if it appears that way, that the sun is actually more yellow or more white, and the moon is brighter because okay, the sun's brighter, the moon's brighter. What if what if there's something like some kind of vortex or something, some type of energy grid put? I'm not talking about necessarily the Van Allen radiation belt. I'm talking about something else. Ilana Freeland talks about it, the Earth grids, or damn, I forgot. It's been a long day. But what if something was put here to where it's beyond the visible spectrum, put around Earth, and maybe we're off with the sun and moon. Maybe it's nothing to do with our psyche, with our conscious, spiritual, and everything else evolution. Like
mm,
that's keep that because it seemed like we're devolving instead of evolving.
yeah.
Well, what if it has nothing to do with whatever the moon was put there artificially or not, and it seems to be brighter and whatever? What if something that was placed around the Earth that's beyond the visible spectrum
Is
of
making it brighter.
yes, see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And the
and
sun brighter too.
it's giving off a feedback. Yeah,
Yeah. And the
I mean,
thing
it could.
is that they say we can only see so much into the visible spectrum. Like who says that we're the pinnacle and we are, like no, like there's so much
Mm,
more than beyond our senses of
yeah,
reality. Like, well, what if it's
uh,
like, I forgot the
you
color
can't put it.
spectrum. Like, well, what if like there are millions of different type of spectrums? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you
Like
switch
millions.
between them. Yeah,
Yeah, and we can only see how many is it? I forgot, man.
yeah. It's a
I,
small amount.
it's a small amount. What if there are millions? And it's like, and maybe when people like take DMT and ayahuasca and stuff, or these other types of hallucinogens, like what if they're not like tripping out, man? What if they're actually tapping into these other frequencies, these other spectrums?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, what if they're actually seeing into another dimension or seeing beyond our what is
yeah,
it, our five sense reality, and they're seeing beyond just the limited spectrum, the limited frequency that our human psyche, our consciousness, our eyes, our everything can pick up.
yeah. I mean, there's so much.
Yeah, see where you
Uh,
sent the spectrum, huh?
mm,
Yep.
if
Yep.
only we had glasses which could see them. Mm,
Yep. Like, see this the visible spectrum you just sent me.
mm,
See, that's just what we come up with. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
how do we know? Like,
it's like pseudoscience.
yeah. See, what if all the smart brains in the world today, man, like everybody, let's say you take the most brilliant minds, right? The most brilliant minds, way smarter than me and you, and possibly even
Mm,
Richard Dolan. You know what I mean? Like, what if they are You ever heard the cargo cult?
No, no, never heard of them.
The cargo cult. Back in, I think it was World War I and World War II. Some of the Philippine islands, planes were, I think the Philippines, somewhere over there near Australia or somewhere over there. There's these islands, these planes, these cargo planes were flying above,
Mm,
and these these people on this island, they never seen anything like that. They never have seen anything like that.
mm.
So whenever somehow
Oh,
I think we landed or we eventually came back or something like that. But this time they were making statues of the planes because they
mm,
thought maybe possibly that we were gods or the plane was whatever.
yeah,
So what I'm trying to say, well, I'm trying to tie that into the most brilliant minds in the world. Those people on that island, their whole existence was here. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
everything they saw on that island. This is all we know. This is
mm,
all we know. And you have these tribal people that they're the smartest ones, or they are like the shamans or whatever, or this is the scientist, this is the nurse, and they have their own they have their own society, their
yeah.
own civilization structure.
Civilization,
Like
yeah.
they have their own structure there, whatever it is.
Their own
So
world.
yes, okay. So let's take all these brilliant minds in the world that think they know everything. And
Mm,
what if these brilliant minds, what if all these brilliant minds that are way smarter than us, what if psychologically on a like on a deep level, they are on this type of island. Metaphorically, they're on this
mm.
type of island, and all they know is what they see, what they think, what they perceive.
The
What
physical. Yeah.
yes, what if they haven't seen shit like flying above, like those cargo, like those people on that island saw fly above these
Mm,
planes that they've never seen before because they
yeah.
have limited perception. They have a damper on their capability to be able to see beyond that point, to see beyond the full spectrum, to see into other frequencies, other dimensions. Like everything they
Mm,
see, touch, feel, taste, observe scientifically, spiritually, whatever. What if there's way more, but we are actually trapped on that island, believing that we know all we know?
yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
creepy, huh?
Mm. And to think that we can't even escape it. It's like,
Do
what's the
we even
point?
do we even want to really escape it though? Or I'm not talking about like people like me and you. I'm talking about us in general. Like
Mm,
people, like are we like yeah, everybody's gonna say yes, we need to escape that. We need to expand our consciousness and get away from ego, get away from fear. And but what if people on the
mm,
other side, what if something more deeper, and because fear of the unknown, like what if what is actually out there, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's
mm.
so much, it's just so much where we just could not mentally take it. We couldn't
Yeah.
we couldn't
It would
download it. We couldn't download it,
it would explode our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Yep.
people would even go to suicide.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of suicides, dude, I've noticed here locally where I live that there's been so many freaking suicides, man, like over the past several years. I would say I wasn't a believer in 2012. I
Mm,
wasn't a believer in 2012. Like, I'm talking about a believer like the world's going to end. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
because CERN was built roughly kind of close to 2012, or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What if CERN 2012, or where we are in the, if this is a spherical, I don't want to get on that, Peter. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
what if we're floating through the universe or through the Milky Way, and we've reached a certain point, a certain energy field, a certain frequency, like I was just talking about the island, like that the smartest brain on the island, blah blah blah. What if we gotten closer to this singular moment within the Milky Way or something to where most people's minds, that's why it feels like the world's in chaos. The people are just in fear mode all the time. Everybody. Maybe it's because we're blasted with this freaking or freaking energy wave or whatever it is, frequency, this something that's beyond our spectrum, beyond our five senses, beyond everything that we know, feel, touch, taste, see, that we can. What if that's playing a role when it comes to everything that's going on in the world today, when it comes to these suicides, the wars? Seem like we're going down this path that there really is no return,
Yeah. Maybe the simulation has reached its end point and needs to be reset.
That's possible. We need to say that for another day.
Yeah. I mean, the more you talk, the more deep you go.
Yep. Yeah, I just keep rambling. But yeah, we definitely need to keep doing this more often. But yeah, dude, appreciate you coming on, man. And let's go and end it there, and we'll pick it up on I don't know, in a few days. We'll talk about some other kind of crazy shit,
Yeah, whatever comes.
Yeah, whatever comes, wherever goes. But just remember, you're here on Beyond the Forbidden.